Welcome to the Intuitive Empire podcast, the place for coaches, healers, network marketers, and awakened souls who are all about creating success on their own terms. We are here to rise, and in doing so, we must honor our sensitive selves, activate our intuition, and lead with light. We are the ones we've been waiting for, the change makers, wayseers, and trailblazers. Join me, Jaya Rose, as we step fully into luminous leadership and create epic, intuitive empires that serve the highest good of all. Ready? Let's go. Hey there, welcome back to the Intuitive Empire podcast. This is going to be a different one. You might already be able to tell. I am walking. Well, you aren't going to know where I am, but I'm in LA, and I just got done with the Harmonious Hustle Event. My good friend Nicole Sylvester put on an amazing event, and I had the honor of speaking there. So this podcast is going to be a little bit different because I literally have 45 minutes right now as I walk to go get some food before I catch my flight back home. And I want to talk to you because I have so much inspiration flowing. And I really have this message coming through around guidance and how we play a part in the clarity that we desire and the guidance that we receive. So at this event, it was super amazing because it was the first event I've ever been to where it was really about the inner game. And I know a lot of people talk about that, but it always seems like it's just about mindset. You know, I go to a lot of online entrepreneur events, and yeah, people talk about mindset, but there's an inner game, an inner world, and there's inner guidance to be tapped into that has nothing to do with your mind. And it has everything to do with your heart and your soul. And that's why Nicole and I align. Maybe you've listened to her on my podcast. If not, you can go back. I'll try and figure out which episode it was, but it was a while ago. And check her out if you don't already follow her, because her delivery and conviction around truth and what is possible in our lives, the healing that can take place and the power that lives within is just so incredible. And I know you'll be inspired. So I was really inspired to one, just be at an event that felt like it was really geared towards a more sensitive soul, towards the empaths that want to go within too. Because we get out into these public situations and there's so much energy and we start taking it all on as empaths. And then there's no time to process. And so there was actual time to process inside of her event. And I just really appreciated that. And there were a number of things that were really powerful. In fact, I did a live video earlier today in my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group, the Intuitive Empire Collective, I highly suggest you head your booty over there and ask to join, because I do lives in there. I do trainings. That's a great place to ask me questions. We can chat about the podcast episode. So if you do that, then watch the video. Maybe I'll link the video and the group for you below, that you can check it out, because I shared all about this breath work and sound healing that we did. So I don't want to share that story with you because you can really do that over there. But what I want to share with you is my experience on the last day. And one side note that I want to share is also just that it's really easy as a highly sensitive to get burnt out at events. I mean, I think anybody would, you know? And to remind you, because I reminded myself along the way, to take time to, oh goodness, it's just going to be loud. It's just going to be, it's okay. To really take the time to honor yourself. And I did that, on the second day I came home, back to my hotel, and I did legs up the wall. And I took a little time for myself. And I just realized, nobody else was doing that. And I feel like this is my plight in the world is that the right word? Maybe that's a problem. No, it's not my problem, but it's it's like my problem and my solution of being highly sensitive is that I have to honor myself or I hit a wall and I literally can't function. I started getting a headache because I just felt like I was at my limit in terms of how much energy I could absorb. And so I went back to my hotel and I did my legs up the wall, and I just want to remind you that you need to have your self-care practices in place. Like, what are you doing today to honor your body, your mind, your soul, your energy, your spiritual connection? What are you doing today to honor that? Because it pays off. Maybe it's about you showing up more powerfully for other people, or maybe it's just about you showing up more powerfully for yourself. Because I took the time to honor myself, I went back to the event and it was almost over. It was like maybe 30 minutes left of the event. And Nicole was on stage and she shared this manifestation meditation with us. And the whole event was very experiential in this way. Like, we were doing meditations, we were walking around hugging each other, we were crying, we were breathing, like it was on fire in this way. So this is no surprise, but it was definitely the bang of the entire event, I think, for me, but for a lot of people. Because what she did is she had us stand up, she had us take some space, and then really tap into what it is we're desiring. So that was something that we worked on, the day before and sort of throughout the event, was like, what's coming up for you? What's your next level? What are you needing to take action on that you've sort of been waiting to take action on? And so we all had this thing in our minds. And as we stood here, at the culmination of all of the energy that had been transferred and created and some resisted, we stood there and declared it, just really got into the energy of it. And then she had us think of somebody who loves us and supports us, and to think about their face looking at us and saying really powerful, supportive things about us following our dreams, and that like we are so supported in this, and really to think about their face. It was so powerful. Then she had us think about somebody who has passed, like an ancestor or a grandparent. For me, I thought about my dad because he passed 3 years ago, and he's a big support to me. I look to him to support. And so you can imagine everyone's getting emotional at this point. We're thinking about them supporting us, and what would they say to us? And then she had us think about somebody who has what it is you're desiring, somebody who already embodies it, who already has it in their reality, and to think about them and send them so much love and celebration, to celebrate them. And it was incredibly powerful. And then she had us bring it back into our own bodies and think about us having it and really supercharging this feeling of, I already have this thing, this is already me. And everyone's just, you could feel the energy in the room is just humming. And then she had us raise our arms up and just scream, yes. Just like as if this thing had already happened. How would you react? Yes! People are so excited and screaming. And we did that a couple times. And then she had us go around the room as if we are celebrating the best thing that ever happened to us, and so are the people in the room, and hug each and every person and say, congratulations, and oh my God, this is so great, and just celebrate. It was electric to have other people in the same vibration as you. This is what we're doing, right? This is the ripple effect of positive change. This is the vibration that we're all trying to raise on this planet right now. And just to imagine what that energy is doing, to imagine how this is feeding in to a collective energy that is shifting. So what I thought about, and I'll tell you, I'm just going to be real, because hey, I keep it real on the Intuitive Empire podcast. One of my edges is really allowing people to desire me. Have you ever heard me talk about this? I talk about it. I have a course that's coming out next week called Supercharge Receiving Your Desires. And the reason that I do this work is because I have had to do this work. Because I was in a major cycle of wanting the friend to call, wanting the guy to call, wanting the client to come, wanting. And I was in that place for so long that really it was one, marrying my husband and allowing him to desire me because he was the first man who met me and who I didn't just want more from. Like, I want him to be different. I want him to give me more love. I want him to do X, Y, and Z. And I've really got to heal this big part of myself that always felt that way. I also felt like I had to fight for my needs. And I've had that come up with my husband, where I've really got to dive into this, allowing him to meet me, allowing him to show up because he wants to. Even if that means I have to ask for what it is I need. He doesn't necessarily intuit everything, but there's been a lot of healing through that. And then healing that has happened through my online business and through sharing my gifts and creating an audience has really been so much around this, around the idea that, okay, I'm powerful, I'm showing up, I have a message. That for me is actually easier than I'm vulnerable and allowing people to desire me. I'm allowing them to absorb my message, to need my message. And I can tell you that that was a very vulnerable, uncomfortable place. That's an edge for me. It still is an edge. And so what I thought about my next level was the feeling of being pursued. And that's really the words I put to it, was I am open, available, and ready for being pursued by things on my next level, by things that align with my next level, being on people's podcasts, being asked to speak, being asked to collaborate, being asked to coach, being asked for someone to enroll in my program. So many different ways that I need as a business owner, as a leader, to be open. And it's much more beneficial for everybody if we're open for this, right? Because why else am I doing everything I'm doing if I'm not going to allow it in? And so this is what I felt as I was standing there. Just very simply allowing myself to be pursued. And as we all came around and hugged each other, and we all sort of like moved this energy that we were creating into the world, I noticed my own energy, and I noticed myself wanting, even in the hugs, I started acting different. Because I set the intention, I started acting different. I started declaring that, yes, this is who I am. I am this person that allows the people to come to me, that allows them to pursue me, that allows them to desire me. And I started changing right then. And so I want you to take from this right now that when you declare and when you get yourself in this high vibration, in this holy vibration, and you are tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, and ready to receive the guidance for your next level, and you own it, and you claim it, and you declare it, you shift. This isn't just magic. It's not just, hey, I put it into the universe and now it's going to come to me and everything else is going to stay the same. No. It's I shifted. I declared, I shifted. And I noticed that as I was saying goodbye to people, I had a different energy where maybe I would be the one who would wait until they said they had to go and hang on to the conversation. And instead of doing that, I said, I took my power back in a way. And I know it sounds really small, but these small shifts really add up. And so even with my friend Jason Goldberg, who has actually been on this podcast, he's such a rock star. I love him dearly. And I was talking to him, and I would have in the past waited for him to end the conversation because I don't get to see him much, and he's really fun to talk to. And instead I was like, the truth is I don't want to be standing here anymore. I want to go back to my room. And I just said, I love you. I'm going to go. And what happened is so fucking amazing, okay? Over the course of the next few hours, I was just open and noticing. And stuff started coming in so fast that I couldn't even register it all, okay? So I walked out of the event, and my daughter, Becca, did the photos for the first day of the event. She was down there, and she actually felt sick that day, so she didn't come to day 2. But she had asked me if she could take me out to dinner for Mother's Day. But then she didn't come, and I wasn't sure if it was really going to happen, and I just had let go of it. It would be easy to kind of attach to it because I didn't have any dinner plans, and I would just spend the whole evening by myself on Mother's Day. But I'd let it go. And what happened is I walked out, I looked at my phone, there was a text message. Are you ready to go to dinner? We're hungry. They're coming to get me. I went and got my shoes on. No waiting, no desiring, no wanting them to call me, no wondering, nothing. Just arriving. Pursuing me, really. And it was beautiful. We went to dinner and had such a nice time. As I got back to the hotel, I looked at my phone, looked at my Instagram. There was a bunch of, tags and things from the event. And there was a gal there, Tiffany, who I really wanted to connect with again. She has a podcast. She's a really badass business owner. I'll probably invite her to be on this podcast. And she had just tagged me in a photo. And I thought, I want to reach out to her. I'm going to see if she wants to, get virtual coffee or something. And before I even did that, she reached out to me and said, I love your speaking style. Do you want to be on my podcast? She pursued me. And then I had another message in my inbox, and it was Nicole, who Nicole put on this event. She's a dear friend, but we didn't really get a lot of time to connect. She also has a million people trying to connect with her, right? And so I didn't expect that we would hang out. And I had already thought, well, that would be cool because we were both staying in the hotel if we could meet up in the morning or something. But I didn't pursue her. There was a message from her, and she said, if you want to get coffee in the morning, let me know. And I just sat there and thought, Jaya, look, it's already happening. It's already happening. And so my call for you right now is for you to tap into what it is you desire, to tap into that next level, and to understand that when you declare it and when you shift, the things will flood in. Are you ready for that? Are you allowing it? Are you certain that they are available to you? Because, oh my goodness, it literally is like magic. It's like magic, but it's real. It's real life. And I know that as I move forward and I continue in this new vibration, this is going to happen. I am ready and available to be pursued, to be seen in my magic, to be seen in my genius, to radiate in my brilliance, and to allow people to desire that, to allow people to invite me to pursue me. I'm available for that. So I ask you, what are you available for? What are you available for right now? Let me know. Join the Facebook group. I'll put the link below. Pop in there. Let's talk about this episode. Let's talk about this concept. I want to know what you're desiring. If you're on Instagram, follow me over there, Jaya Rose, the Jaya Rose. Tag me in your Instagram story. Do an Instagram story. Declare what it is you're ready for, okay? Let's create a movement out of this. Let's create movement. Let's create momentum, because you are not here to play small with desires hidden in your heart, honey. You are here to show up fully, and that means you got to declare it. So I want to know, okay? Love you so much. I'll see you next time on the Intuitive Empire Podcast.